welcome to Deep Flower's new paradigm featured by Klecha & Co. And welcome to our guests, Giancarlo Beraudo, partner at Ambienta Private Equity, and Stéphane Klecha, managing partner and co-founder at Klecha & Co. Today we will talk about tech M&A. Technology transactions increase significantly in its share in the global and in the European M&A market. And Klecha, you released a report about this called Tech Outlook 2022. What are the key findings you found out?
What we saw in the transaction volumes from last year, our volumes reaching $1 trillion last year, with a number of transactions increasing significantly, plus 60% at the European level, which is very, very important.
And 1 trillion is over 4 trillion globally, of the global M&A transaction. How do you explain this growth?
Basically, there is a lot more appetite for transactions in the tech sector for a number of reasons. The pandemics have been one very significant driver. Another one is also one of the ones we are seeing more and more. So the traditional companies are looking to expand into technology sectors.
Which kind of sectors? I mean, the digitalization or increasing some other competencies, data analytics, what are the main sectors?
Just to make a few examples, some of the companies that we work with are traditional companies from, let's say, old sectors that have come to the conclusion they have huge amounts of data within their companies, and they need to make to create value out of it. So they know they don't have the competencies internally to transform them. They need to go out and make acquisitions.
And this is for every kind of company. I mean, not only consumer companies where they found a high demand from consumers of digitalization. So do you think it's shared too?
It's across the board. We see that from financial services companies, from industrial companies, and from every sector. Marketing technologies marketing companies have already been transforming their activities for a long time, but financial services companies to some extent, industrial companies a lot less, and they are coming to it now.
An interesting feature you reported in your report is the Italian situation of Italy. I asked for the card number 2. Thanks. And as we can see, the numbers increase significantly also in Italy, which is very important for our country that is usually considered at the bottom in the M&A European market. So what do you think it's important to say about this? What are the key drivers?
Well, in Italy, last year we saw 160 transactions, which is significantly more, at least 36% compared to the previous year. Also, one of the things which is very positive for the medium term of the technology sector in Italy is that 1 billion has been invested in venture capital money on the Italian market, which has never been seen in the past. So I mean, it's very positive for the market going forward.
Of course, that's important because corporate venture capital in Italy has never been so developed. So this is really important. And a part of corporates, also private equity played an important role. I asked for card number 3, so we can see the numbers about private equity. And yes, on these 160 deals, 31 were held by a private equity, and the share increased from 7 to 15%, so it's almost doubled. What are the key strategies, Mr. Beraudo, for private equity within the tech sector, and what is the approach?
Sure. Well, my point of view is the point of view both of the private equity and the point of view of an investor that is focused on sustainability. And so let's start from private equity side. From the private equity investor, tech is very interesting because private equity are looking for recurring revenues, and this is something that software and tech often offer. is looking for growth, the same, is looking for gross margin, and in the tech sector you often have a gross margin that can even exceed 90%, something that in the industrial space you basically can find. And then you're looking for operating leverage, you're looking for cash generation, all features that tech companies offer a lot.
But I mean, private equity always search for these kind of characteristics in the companies they buy. So why just now the tech sector just exploded like this?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think the change in the paradigm has been software as a service. The business model of software as a service has really dramatically changed because it has increased the share of recurring revenues, and it has increased the overall scalability of software companies.
Okay, so that's important. And how the ESG factor?
Yeah, that's of course the one that is most important for us, and in that the tech sector often plays a very important role in digitalizing the world, and digitalization often means to transform a process that was before done in a physical way, which involves people meeting physically and in papers to be printed and signed and exchanged, and so physical goods to be transported into processes that are done in a totally digital and remote way. And this transition removes the use of paper, removes the need for people to travel, and therefore reduces the environmental impact of the underlying system.
Okay, although some people say that technology still consumes a lot of energy, so this is another point.
Absolutely, and when we evaluate every investment, also in tech, we consider the net balance, the positive impact, and also the cost, the negative impact.
Yeah, another key finding in the report is about the evaluations that in Italy increased, the one about technology companies from 6 times the EBITDA to 12.4 times the EBITDA. So this was of course an increase that followed the one general that we experienced generally in the M&A sector. But do you think it's related to the sector itself, so to technology and its potential growth and all characteristics, or it's more related to the situation at the moment?
Well, the multiples have increased significantly in Italy, but also elsewhere. In Italy, they have increased, I would say, dramatically more because they were coming from a lower level. Okay, the 6 times you were referring to are from a number of years ago. 2020, more or less, we were about 10 times EBITDA on average. Now we are about 12.4 times EBITDA on average, which I think is due to the change in mix in terms of the transactions that are being done, and also to the fact that Italy is catching up with the, let's say, the European standards in terms of multiples. And that is, I think, also has a number of explanations. One of them can be the Draghi effect. He has had a very positive effect in, let's say, attracting new capital from outside the country, and also from the fact that the size of the Italian companies is growing, and they are becoming attractive also for international investors.
Is there anything?
I think the level of valuation that we are talking about, in particular for tech companies, is not that high in reality when you look at it.
Compared to other sectors, of course.
Compared to other sectors, and
like food.
Yes, but also compared to other markets, and in particular companies that are listed.
Last question about the 2022. This year, we talk about the software as a service sector. Do you think there are other subsectors in the technology sector that will drive this growth again?
The key areas where we are seeing a lot of interest, both from private equity investors and from corporates, are cybersecurity, which is one of the areas where huge investments are going to be made for very obvious reasons. And the other one is, which is part of the digital transformation of companies, of more, let's say, legacy companies, is about data. You know, how to create value out of the existing data.
Okay. What about you? What do you see?
I fully agree. I would add one that is industrial technologies or software for industrial applications. I think there is really an opportunity to couple, to merge two mega trends that are very much current right now. One is, and is important from the sustainability point of view, is the efficiency. They need to increase efficiency in industrial manufacturing processes, and in these technology and software can play a role. And the other one is the reshoring phenomenon that we are seeing throughout the world, where basically supply chains that were dislocated across continents and have been disrupted in the last couple of years are being reshored back to Western Europe and North America.
So a lot of investment opportunities. So let's see if this year will satisfy the expectations. Thank you to Stéphane Klecha, thanks to Giancarlo Beraudo, thank you all.